Anyone who really wants to use Pinterest at its fullest should have a blog. Yes, you can pin lead magnets. Yes, you can pin all kinds of things. But really, when it comes down to it, it is really freaking great at driving traffic to those blogs.
Welcome to the Marketing Expedition Podcast, an auditory journey through the latest in marketing, branding, and advertising. Now, here's your Marketing Expedition guide, Ray Allen.
On this episode of the Marketing Expedition Podcast, I get to speak with Jen Vazquez. She's the founder and CPO, Chief Pinterest Officer of Jen Vazquez Media, known to many as the Pinterest Queen. And she is a hyper-busy female service provider to create a streamlined marketing workflow that influences efficiency, produces more significant returns, and honors their energy through her proven Pinterest marketing method. And her Pinterest agency helps those hyper-busy female service providers hand over their Pinterest marketing so that they can work in their zone of genius while they grow their community on Pinterest and drive traffic to their content. And she was handpicked by Pinterest in November of 2022 to be a Pinterest pioneer, helping as an expert in the Pinterest business community. And she's also an educator for Tailwind. But when she's not working, you can find her hanging out with her husband, JC, 4 adult children, and 4 grandbabies. We are going to deep dive into Pinterest. But first, it's time for your Marketing Essentials moment, the basics that you need to help you continue to grow your brand and your bottom line. This week's topic for your Marketing Essentials moment, I want to talk about the customer journey and what that looks like and how you can enhance your customer experience by understanding what your customer is going through and the journey that they're taking from the moment that they discover your brand all the way through to post-purchase interactions. And so some of the steps that you can take to help implement understanding your customer journey and the map that you want to go through is really visualizing the end-to-end customer journey that they're going to go through by identifying each touch point along the way and each interaction a customer has with your brand. And this can help you understand their motivations, their needs, their pain points throughout the entire process. And maybe you see where things might be getting bottlenecked or hung up, or where their objections might be coming in, or, what is it that's keeping them from buying from you? And so thinking about all of these different tactics that you can take within this customer journey mapping, going through that, right? You're going to identify those pain points or those triggers or the things that they may have obstacles in the way, right? What is it that you can do to help alleviate some of those things that they may encounter, the difficulties, the frustrations, any confusions that might come along the way? And this can include things like maybe there's multiple click-throughs that they have to get through in order to get to the information that they need or want. Or maybe it's a really long checkout process and they have to duplicate information and put it in there multiple times. That's so annoying, right? And maybe there's a lack of support options, or maybe they have questions before they buy and there's no real solid way to answer those questions for them. If you don't have a chat bot or something like that, or even if it's just a regular, business to business transaction that's not online or, in a retail space, what are some of the things that they're going through that can cause frustration? Maybe even without them knowing about those frustrations, but how can you go through that map and understand that roadmap that they're going through in order to get to that end result that they're after? And then if you can think about how you can streamline some of those processes by simplifying their purchasing process and removing all those unnecessary steps or those obstacles that they're going through or encountering. Sometimes they're unintended, right? But if people are continuously getting hung up throughout that journey, why and where is it, and how can you reduce that from happening? If it's online, maybe it's reducing some of the form fields that they have to fill out. Maybe it's optimizing check flows and, having 1 click instead of 6 clicks to get to where they need to go in order to get that information or to get to your shopping cart or something along those lines. Same thing in, even in a physical store, right? A brick and mortar. If they are having to navigate through your store to get to where they want to go and they can't find what they're looking for, or something's not at eye level, that maybe be a product that's popular, that is trending well and selling well, things like that, like shelf space that you can think about, signage or wayfinding, things that you can help to alleviate their buying decisions and processes. And same thing with service industries. What can you do to help simplify the process, help shorten the time frame that it takes in order for them to do their transaction with you, to make the deal happen? And people always understand that when people are excited about wanting to buy a service from you, they're ready to do it now. And even more so, people are much more intolerant of long periods of time before they can actually get what they need or want, right? People want that instant gratification now more than ever because they're used to having it in other ways. So if you can do things to help streamline the process in their journey and continuously finding ways to optimize that process they're going through in order to buy from you, that's going to continuously help in your customer buying experience, right? And making sure that if it's online, if your website is mobile friendly, for example, or having a seamless cross-device experience, for example, if they start on a mobile device and they want to maybe go onto their desktop, they can, or vice versa, like ways to then be able to send and share that web link to their devices. Maybe they're on a TV, and smart TVs you can purchase because you can browse the internet, and maybe they want to streamline that to their phone. And so finding ways to continuously make it easy for them to be able to buy from you and continue to promote to them if they, abandon cart, if they leave something in their cart they haven't quite purchased yet. How can you make it super simple, super easy for them? Maybe in part of the process, you've captured their information as first-party data that you can then resend that information to them. Maybe you want to have them on a reoccurring basis or a retainer or ongoing basis. How can you simplify and make it even more lucrative for them to want to buy on an ongoing term? Making it user-friendly, having those interfaces that are intuitive and being able to navigate easily, and all the different digital platforms that are out there, whether you're, selling on any social media platforms or if it's on your website, how can you make those interfaces interchangeable, super easy to use, really clear on navigation, making it responsive design so it can happen to display on any platform, on any device, and whether it's a mobile device, a small device, or like an iPad, or any of those different types of places where people can purchase now. And having that intuitive way for them to navigate and watching. There's all kinds of tools that we use to be able to watch how people navigate. And I think one of them is called Hotjar that we've used before, to where we can see how people use the website, where they're going the most, how they're getting there the most. And, if they're consistently going to frequently asked questions and there's an answer that they consistently search for and look up, and they're trying to find that answer to whatever that question is that maybe is a pain point or a trigger in their process, then do more to help educate your client in understanding what they need in order to get that information quickly, easily, and right away. And then other things that you can do is personalize the communication that you're being able to send to them, because now they've supplied you with their first party data in their journey. And now you can leverage that customer data to personalize your communication with them. Again, having targeted emails or targeted messages to them, and even ads that are targeted right specifically to those customers. It's really dynamic now how we can specifically advertise to specific people. So using that dynamic content to provide relevant recommendations and offers or news and information that they just can't miss out on, right? News that they can use and events not to miss, all the things that you can do to help them in their journey. And then, of course, being responsive to customer support. So even now, if after they've purchased, or they're, maybe they are ready to purchase and they need that support, they just need that human touch. They need to hear from you and a person that can actually help them and do things like, being able to have multiple channels of customer support, whether that's through direct messages or DMs on socials, or having live chat or emails, or multiple different ways on social media now that we can communicate, right? Or even on the telephone, being able to respond promptly to those inquiries and helping them to make those decisions that they may need just a little bit of a human touch to make it happen, and being able to give them empathetic assistance and implement that. And so then you can also use that feedback that you're getting if they do need a little more information, or they do need a little extra, kind of push along the way in their journey. Then you can use that information as a knowledge base to then help you continue to build your FAQ section for self-service options, so frequently asked questions. And also building that frequently asked questions section is super helpful for voice search optimization, because now we know that people use so many different tools to search, including voice search with smart TVs and Google Home and Alexa and all the things, right? So if you can continuously build conversational data inquiries using long key phrases that then might be something that people would search for using their voice, then FAQs are really helpful for that. So paying attention to what those questions are that your customers are asking along the way in their journey can actually help even more customers that could potentially be looking for a similar journey that they're going through in that whole customer experience that you're providing to them. And then, of course, utilizing that feedback, and then surveys. Surveys are super helpful to understand what your customers want, what their needs are, what their feedback is, and then you can gauge their satisfaction and use that to their advantage. So on a survey, you can say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely would you be to recommend this product or service to someone else? And of course, if they give you raving reviews and it's a solid 10, then life is good. But if they are least likely to recommend you, then you've got some problems and things to look at, and some challenges that you may need to overcome, and continuously understanding that feedback and how you can use that to your advantage. So using surveys, ratings, rankings, reviews, referrals, all those things to help gather those insights, and then demonstrate that you have value that you can provide to them, but also demonstrate that you value their opinions and their feedback, and help then allow them to help you in your journey to then be able to provide that customer experience that you're wanting to do. Another thing is to consistently embrace the omni-channel experiences for your customers, because we know that sometimes people make decisions in multiple different ways. They have to see things and be able to hear and experience your brand in multiple different ways now, because we have to, disrupt and get through the clutter of all the things that they may be interrupted by. And so capturing their attention, capturing that brain space, and providing them that seamless experience across those different channels, whether it's in-store, online, click and mortar, brick and mortar, mobile or social, any of those places that they can see your brand, in maintaining that consistency in your branding, your messaging, your ads that you're using, the font size that you use, right? All the things, the color scheme, all those things can help continuously build your brand and your bottom line ultimately. And then, of course, measure and analyze all of this that you're doing, right? Understand what parts and what those KPIs are, as I always say, kept promise indicators or key performance indicators, and implement those analytics tools that are out there. There's so many AI tools now to help you with tracking and measuring and seeing what you can do to monitor your customer interactions and measuring that engagement. And then always continuously identify areas for improvement or maybe enhancements, right? And then utilizing those KPIs to continuously measure the success of that customer experience that they're going through. And then again, continuous improvement, like I mentioned, just regularly reviewing and refining your customer journey, asking lots of questions along the way, listening to your customers, understanding where they're satisfied, where they're frustrated, and why. And then using that feedback and all the things that we just talked about, the data analysis, the ever-evolving customer expectations that they may have, and then staying up to date with all the industry trends and emerging technologies to just make sure that you are doing your best to providing innovative experiences for your customer and the journey that they're going to go through in order to purchase from you And then obviously the best thing that you can do beyond that is get them to become loyal customer fans, right? We want those customers to be our customer evangelists, right? We want them to share and tell everyone else about you. And so by continuously listening to them and understanding their pain points, understanding where they're super satisfied and super frustrated, so that you can continuously create those long-lasting customer relationships and foster that loyalty that we want them to say, because then they're going to help you accelerate word of mouth advertising, especially if they have a wonderful experience with you. Now, they can also, on the flip side, also continuously say that word of mouth advertising that you may not want by telling people about a poor experience that they had. So be diligent, always continuously listen to your clients, customers, and how you can satisfy and continue to satisfy their buying experience with you. And now let's get into the interview. Welcome to the Marketing Expedition podcast. I'm your host, Ray Allen. I'm the president and CEO of Peppershock Media and the founder of the Marketing Expedition community. And today's guest, we have Jen Vazquez. Welcome to the show, Jen.
Yay! So happy to be here.
So Jen, just give a little brief history of how you got to where you are now, doing all the wonderful things that you get to do.
Yes. Well, it started way back in 2009. I was and am still a mother of four, and in going to corporate America, I was in the recruiting industry. So it's sales and marketing big time, and 80 hours a week or something. So I was tired of leaving my kids before they woke up and coming home after they went to bed. I was just done with it. And much to my husband's surprise, in 2009, I just had a day and I just went in and said, this is my 2 weeks notice. My husband goes, you did what? I'm like, are you kidding? I had already been photographing for at least 5 or 6 years at that point and getting paid for it. And I know marketing. I knew that I could grow my business. But yeah, so then in 2009, right as I did this, Pinterest came out in beta as invite only. This was well before Clubhouse, and it was the first one that was by invitation only, in my opinion. And I recognized that it would be amazing even way back then. And I grew my wedding photography business to enormous heights with blogging, because you got to have that Google Analytics stuff, and Pinterest. And it was so cool. And I used to help everyone I know, here, there, everywhere. And everyone would say, you should be doing this as a business. You should be doing this as a business. And I'm like, no, because I want to be present with my children. Like, that's the whole point. So when my son graduated from high school in 2018, I opened the doors to Jen Vazquez Media, and I have not looked back. And at the end of this year, I'll be combining my photography, which is now brand photography, into my marketing agency. So really, really exciting things.
That is so cool. I love how life stages happen and occur based on our kids and where their life stage is.
There are why 9 times out of 10. So yeah, absolutely.
Yep. My oldest just went off to college. She's a freshman, and our youngest is a sophomore. And I tend to remember things that happen in the order of, well, when was I, which kid was I pregnant with?
Yeah.
How old were they? What grade were they in? Okay, yeah, that's when that happened. Do you do that too, Jen?
No, I totally do that. And now I'll just give you a peek into the future, because my oldest is turning 36, and my youngest is turning 22 this year. I also have 2 adult children that are married, and I have 4 grandbabies. And now my life is revolving around them, just like it did with my kids. So it doesn't end.
Yes. I love it. I love it. So Jen, tell me more about what you do as far as how you help people with Pinterest, because it's been around for a while. People kind of dabble, they use it a little bit, but it's kind of a hidden gem. I really feel like there's a lot of opportunity for what people can do to market and brand on Pinterest. So if you wouldn't mind, kind of just share and give an overview, and then maybe dig into a story or like a success story that you've had and how you've helped one of your clients on Pinterest.
Yeah. It is a hidden gem, and I secretly love that because then my clients are seeing great growth. No, it really is great. So I always start off with the fact of Pinterest, social media marketing and search marketing. I'm a very big proponent for talking about that. I'm old school marketing, right? Guerrilla marketing, like you do whatever you need, like way back in the day. And now it's really focused on service, like helping clients, right? But search marketing is the most valuable at the top of, and I know everyone listening is probably rolling their eyes and they know this, but I'm going to say it for those who maybe don't. Search marketing is really the top of the funnel, and it is incredible at getting new eyeballs on your stuff, right? On you and your business. And the way that it works, as most people know, is you've got Google, right? Which is the holy grail. And so having blogs helps you with those new eyeballs and getting new people getting found, right? I just booked a branding client. She said, Google. I searched on Google. I'm like, doing my job right. And then you have, its cousin, basically, because Google owns YouTube, which is incredible at getting new eyeballs. And then Pinterest, I always like to say, is that little step cousin. And she's just chugging along, almost 500 million monthly views. It is incredible. And people are going to Pinterest to get inspired, to find new ideas, and to learn something specific that they're willing sometimes even to invest in. Where I like to say Instagram is more of that personal thing where people are scrolling to see what everyone else is doing. Sometimes you can feel a little less than. Pinterest is over here, like the most positive corner of the internet, they used to say. And it is true, right? It is true. I find the biggest problem people have with Pinterest is not actually Pinterest. So they go on Pinterest, they use it to market their business, and they either give up too soon because it is a long situation, just like Google's, right? You need a good 6 to 12 months really tells you what's going on, but 3 to 6 months will tell you if you're going in the right direction, I like to say. And it is incredible, like I said, at getting new eyeballs on your content, but also it is something that sticks, meaning some of my content that is still in the top 20 pins are from 6 and 7 years ago. I did nothing.
Right.
And all that traffic is still coming in, but I did it like 5 or 6 or 7 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Where Instagram is 48 to 72 hours. And maybe if it goes viral or you get a little lucky, you'll have a week maybe of visibility and then it's literally gone. I did an experiment once where I did the exact same reel multiple times. Not one person said anything, maybe didn't even notice. I just think that it's like the easy button on marketing. You spend my clients typically spend about an hour a week creating their pins, doing their Pinterest strategy, pinning their pins, and then they're spending 80% of their time on Instagram when probably 70% of their traffic is going to be coming from Pinterest.
Wow. Well, and isn't it true that Pinterest is like the second largest search engine?
It's actually the third. So we've got Google, then YouTube, and then, so it's actually the third, but you're right. For a while, it was second.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And it does seem like people will spend more time on Pinterest. And like you said, you can pin them and then you can come back to them. And it's a way to save the stuff that you're interested in. And Instagram, it's in its name, it's instant and it's kind of done.
Woo, I have never heard somebody put it like that. That is actually super smart. Instagram is instant. I'm not kidding. I have never heard that before.
There you go. Well, it's in the name. They want you in the moment and then moving on. Whereas Pinterest, you're right. I think I have some pins from a long time ago when I was trying to paint a bedroom and I wanted to figure out different colors that I was looking for. And there's just different boards and things you can go back to. And we use it for our clients when we want to do a rebrand and, showing other logos that are interesting to them or images or color schemes or anything like that.
Even Vibe.
Mood board,
it's great for Vibe.
Yeah. And it's nice because then you can get inspiration from not like you're going to copy everything that you pin, but it's getting those ideas out there and looking to see what you can do. And a lot of how-to stuff is on Pinterest too, right? I mean, that's another area.
Which is why anyone who really wants to use Pinterest at its fullest should have a blog. Yes, you can pin lead magnets. Yes, you can pin all kinds of things. But really, when it comes down to it, it is really freaking great at driving traffic to those blogs. So the other mistake or the other complaint I hear about Pinterest, which that just brought it up,
Mm-hmm.
is that it you're I'm getting tons of traffic, but I'm not growing my clients. Pinterest is not responsible, nor am I as a Pinterest manager at
Right.
responsible for converting. My job is to
Mm-hmm.
drive traffic. Pinterest's job is to drive traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Your job or your brand person job or your website person's job is to optimize your website for your ideal client and have those buttons right up at the top to be able to convert them. Easy buttons, I call them,
Easy
not
button.
just spend $12,000, right? You
Right.
get a free consultation call, like whatever it is.
Yeah. Sign up for an email list or sign up
Yes.
for something or webinar or something that's coming up. That's very true. So how do you feel about now that you're going to incorporate the brand photography into Pinterest? I mean, do you feel like it's smart to post your brand images and, kind of like your lifestyle images onto Pinterest?
Oh, yeah. So, a couple of things, right? When you're looking at Pinterest analytics, everyone says, well, this pin got 100,000 monthly views. And I'm ignoring what's being said and I'm looking at those outbound clicks or those pin clicks. Outbound clicks and pin clicks. So, an outbound click is when you see a pin in your feed that you are like, ooh, and you click on it and it opens it up if you're on a computer and the image is to the left and to the right is that description and the title. And that's interest. That means the pin, the design, or the keywords got people to open it. You did your job, your first job, right? Then the
Right.
second job in the description and with the content you're providing, does it make people go to that next step to go to your website? And so those are the analytics that I look at. Now, all the analytics are not vanity. They're not at all vanity because
Mhm.
they tell the algorithm how important you are and how to serve up your information. So it
Right.
is important, but you have to have all of those firing, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy.
Really, the strategy is kind of the 1-2 punch. Get them to like it or open it, and then get them driven to the website. And then, like you
Correct.
said, at the website, that's when it's the job of the website builder or whoever it is
Yeah.
to hook them and then get them to convert into
Into your
purchasing from
world
later.
somehow,
Yeah,
whether it's your email
awareness.
list or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. So, what are you seeing that gets a lot of traction, good traction now? I mean, what kinds of pins are popular? I mean, I obviously that's kind of a loaded question because it really depends on who you are and what you are interested in. But what are some things that have been working well for your clients recently?
Yeah. And I will also touch on the question that it just now dawned on me I didn't finish about the brand photos.
Oh yeah.
Everyone goes to Pinterest and looks at the beautiful photos for inspiration for their branding shoot or inspiration for their website, right? Everyone does that. When they save it or they open it or they click on it and go to your website, even if they're not going to work with you because they're in Canada and you're in California,
Hmm.
those analytics are helping your Pinterest account, right? But you then also need to have pins that have those beautiful brand images that has keywords as titles and calls to action that gets them to follow through. So I always say for local business owners, I specialize in female service providers. I have a ton of photographers and wedding pros as clients. And using local SEO, even if you want to travel, right?
Yeah.
People love you, they'll find you, they'll tell you to travel, but your focus in terms of marketing and keywords and such should be on that local SEO. So having brand photos on there, having both the pretty
Hmm.
picture, which helps saves, it helps impressions, it helps people following you, and then having the pin with that beautiful photo with the text over is actually growing your business. So we want to
Hmm.
feed the machine what it wants to
Hmm.
get what we want. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. And
No,
then
that's
what was your last question?
fine. Oh, I don't even remember now.
I know you said something good though. And
No, I just wanted to know what kind of trending pins are happening and like what have for your clients recently. What are some success stories of pins that they've done that have been wildly helpful to them in driving the traffic and doing the things that you want to do? What maybe describe some of those pins that they've done under your direction, of course, and what's
Yeah.
helped them?
Yeah, I would say the a couple things when you ask that question that I think
Right?
about.
Yeah.
One is give it time, right?
Mhm.
You can't
Mhm.
pin something today and expect traffic next week. That just isn't how Pinterest works. And you can't pin, and then do nothing for a month or any variation of that, right? I hate the word consistency, but when it comes to marketing and especially when it comes to Pinterest,
Uh-huh.
the algorithm's going to reward you for showing up, right?
Yeah.
So a couple of things, I mean, wedding industry is big, food
Mhm.
industry is big, all the things that you would typically go for personally are big. I would say for photographers or for
Mhm.
any clients, having those gorgeous photos is what catches the attention, but focusing on the keywords is the most
Mhm.
important. I had a client who is a photographer, and she came to me with, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was in the thousands, maybe 8,000 monthly views. And she was like, I see other photographers that I have better photos of, and they're getting like millions of views, monthly views. And my question to them is, how many like clicks do they get? Like, we don't know their traffic. You can look it up. You can go to Uber Suggest, look up that website and see how much traffic's going. Like, you can see all of that information through other back channels. But what I noticed on her website is she was only sharing photos. And
Mm.
again, as we talked about, having
Mhm.
keywords, telling people what to do in marketing is
Mhm.
old as time because it's effective, right?
Right.
Those calls to action are
Yeah.
insanely effective. And so I came on, she wanted to be pinning all those gorgeous pins, which again, you want both, right?
Mhm.
And I did the pins that were strategic, that had the keywords that
Right.
we wanted to rank for, her city, venues she wanted to photograph at, all that stuff.
Nice.
Then we decided to add video, right? So
Mhm.
having keywords strategizing about the keywords to put on the pins
Mhm.
and having calls to action that gets people to go to it. She, in about 6 to 8 months, she jumped up just under 1 million monthly views. And she was against doing videos. So I offered her to take her Instagram reels that she already made
Mhm.
and sprinkle them onto her account. And she, well over 1 million easily. So one
Nice.
mistake that people make is when idea pins went away, people got very excited because they don't have to do videos anymore. But
Mhm.
I'm just telling you right now, people are attracted by the videos.
Right.
There just are. And I have done for myself and also clients who absolutely wanted it. I did just graphics or just videos, and nothing compares to doing both, having that strategy of doing both video and graphics. And you can do that super easily by just repurposing the content you have.
Well, and isn't it true we need to kind of reformat it just to fit the Pinterest look as far as
You know,
the video goes, or can
I
you
mean,
do it the
so
way it
I always say when it comes to Pinterest, there's doing it the perfect way, and then there's doing it the way according to how much time you have to give, right?
Yeah.
I'm always balanced in that, right? If you can afford to outsource it and you're going to kill yourself trying to do it, you don't want to give up on Pinterest. You just want to scale back kind of what you're doing, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Pinterest is incredible in learning what your ideal clients want and love
Yeah.
and giving those types of people, putting your pins in front of those types of people. So as long as you put both video and graphics, you're going to find way more growth. And it used to be that you want to repurpose the content for each specific platform. But if I have a mom with 3 kids and she doesn't have time for that, and I'm
Right.
helping her to use Pinterest, we're gonna make it work like one way
Mhm.
or another. I do not recommend the types of videos where you're mouthing the words
Right.
because you're using that and it could be an issue legally to use that like content. But if
Right.
you're the one doing the words, you can
Mhm.
download before you even publish, Or you can use something like Snap Insta and pull it out, which is what I do for my clients, and repurpose it onto Pinterest. I'm not going to say link in bio. I'm not going to say all those things. You can take, just as a quick thing to do, you can take Instagram caption that you did, put it into AI, ask them for an optimized Pinterest pin title and description, and go with what they gave you, as long as it's in your brand voice.
Right. I mean, and I always still say that you need HI to use AI, right? Human intelligence to use artificial intelligence.
Yes. So many people just put in a sentence and then take what they get and run with it. And everyone's blog or everyone's content is going to be boring. And the algorithm's going to know that because people are going to keep scrolling or whatever. And yeah, you've got to, I give it about a page of information before I ask a question. Obviously, ChatGPT has it built in, but I love using Google Gemini, because it gives me more options, and it kind of uses my brand voice easier. I have less things that I need to go in and update.
Well, and there's something to be said about utilizing ChatGPT or Gemini or any of these, that it can't generate your personal opinion and your personal thoughts. And I think that that's where you need to massage the copy just a little bit, whatever it spits out for you, so that you can make it and own it and have it be your own thoughts too. I mean, in conjunction with maybe ChatGPT can give you some inspiration on what to say and give you some, good, like, statistic stats, let's just say stats, or things like that. But I think you're right. You still want to massage that description to be something that you feel like a human wrote.
I always tell my clients, write it out. The little bit of time that you take to have what you wrote, it will make your AI result 8 times better, even if you preface it by all of your brand voice and all the things that all about your company. Just writing it yourself, the act of writing it yourself, when I put it in, they write it better than I do, but they still use the verbiage that I use. So it is much more effective.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too.
And now a message about our sponsor, Billie Razors. Billie is a female-first shave club and a body brand that's putting an end to the pink tax on razors. So by spreading the word about the pink tax rebate, no purchases necessary, we both get a $20 credit to spend on Billie Razors and body care. Let's do this. It's really awesome. It comes in the mail. You get it on a subscription basis, and it just comes when you need it, and you can always turn it off when you don't, but you can have it set up to automatically come to you as you need new razors, and they are cost effective and of course not what you're doing when you're paying at the grocery store such a high price on women's razors. So go to peppershock.com/offers and get your Billie razors today.
So I want to know, just for your own purposes, Jen, I know, you do this for all your clients. I always like to ask people who are marketers themselves, how do you market your own business? What do you do to get new clients?
Think about it. I got 2 businesses right now, which is why I want to merge them. I am very diligent and even militant in my marketing, because I know for a fact if I let my foot off the gas 3 months from now, I'll be kicking myself in my bottom, because it'll be completely my fault. And I know, and sometimes we have to let it go. Sometimes we get, sick, or somebody gets sick and we've got to take care of them. There's times when that is going to happen. But what I like to do is I have a specific day for doing everything I do. Sundays, even though most people don't work on Sundays, and I don't work per se, I'm literally in bed in my jammies and I pull my laptop out anytime I feel like it, but at some point on Sunday. And I do bullet points of what I want my video, because my content all starts from my video. And then I film my video at usually Monday-ish. Tuesday, I do not at all work. I'm on the ground playing with my grandbabies every Tuesday, phone off. And so if I do all that stuff on Sunday, which I do no matter what, even if I have to stay up late, I will get that done. Film it on Monday or Wednesday at the latest. Then I take that content, I turn that into a blog post of some kind. And then I usually ask AI, again, we always have to adjust it, but I ask AI to make a LinkedIn post, a Facebook post, and 3 Instagram posts, or I'll ask for a real idea or something from the content. It's just a great starting point. We don't have to be, have writer's block, in other words. And so, and I upload everything, do everything on Friday. Friday, again, I don't take any meetings. All Friday is to process all of my work, all of my marketing, and then the afternoon is for all my clients, and then client work, I should say, and then I make sure it's uploaded and it comes out on Sunday mornings. And I am militant about that. If I'm going to be taking a week off, and I do try to do this, I will confess I have not done this recently, but I like to do 2 videos every week. So I have one as a backup, because at least one time during the month, I'm going to just not be able to do it. Family comes first, whatever pops up. But I just know that client work is first, marketing is second, and all the other nonsense is third or outsourced. Period. Like, that's just how it works.
I have a saying that somebody once told me, DDT, do it, delegate it, or toss it.
Yes. Ooh, I like that too. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, I think it's true. Either do it, delegate it, or toss it.
I like it. Yeah. And I still am a control freak. I'm going to just put it out there for the public. But I have learned through managing in corporate America, you have to delegate. You just can't not do it. But when I had my own business, it was like my baby. I was not going to be delegating to anybody. And now I have a small team, a small but mighty team that helps me to do the things I don't like, because I will put them off, or B, the things even that I like, but that is not a part of my marketing or my client work. I just need to let that go. And honestly, my team does a much better job than I do even. And I'm really good at taking what somebody does and like making it better. So I'm in a good position.
No, I can relate to that. My staff actually got me the Frozen doll that sings, Let It Go. Let it go.
Oh, was that not a big message?
Like, I don't let it go.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That is so funny.
Snowman.
I can do it.
Anyway, no, I can so relate to that though, because it's hard. But what they say, delegate to elevate. So you have to force yourself to do it sometimes. And even though the way that other people would do it may not be the same as you, you've heard all this before, I'm sure.
And they could do it even better. That's literally what I found. Yeah. I mean, the thing that pushed me over the edge is I got COVID and I got sick, really sick, in the hospital sick. This was February of 2021.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, February 2021. I had no choice. Right? I mean, I legit had no choice. And I was actually shocked. And when I came back, quote unquote, to work, I told my VA, okay, this is now yours. This is now yours. This is now, yay, we get to increase your hours. This is it.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. And you know what? Sometimes they do find better ways to do things than what you do, because that's just how you've always done it. And that doesn't necessarily mean
I love doing design. I love playing in Canva. But she does a way better job than I do. She is way better at branding than I am. So why am I wasting time? Right? Yeah, so I've got client work, I've got marketing, and then I have my education. So I have my 2 memberships, and and one of them, it's a group coaching. I'm live twice a week. Those are like non-negotiables also, right? And they're actually the thing that I love the most.
Oh,
So
good.
I'm working on ramping that up to be really good money, and then
Mhm.
still keep my Pinterest management clients.
Yeah.
But that's what I enjoy, showing up live and talking about Pinterest. Like I could do it all day long.
Right. Well, that's good. And then people want to be a part of that community and be a part of
Yeah,
the journey and continue to learn and network with other people that are going through the same
exactly.
steps that you're going through. That's good. That's good. Okay, so Jen, then now that you're going to combine the two businesses together, what are your goals? What goals have you set or maybe already met or that you want to meet?
Yeah. So I completely took away all but one little drop down menu about weddings, and actually made that elopements, because I might be open to doing elopements because it's kind of a one and done, but I am not doing 10 and 12-hour days anymore photographing. I'm not.
A
It's
lot of
not
work.
a joy anymore. Someone else should do it that really thoroughly enjoys it at this point.
And
I've
who
been doing
somebody
it
else
for
who enjoys getting along with the mother of the bride?
Yeah. Actually, I'm really great at that. I don't enjoy
Good.
it, but I'm really great at that.
That's awesome.
But so that was my first goal. Is I had this epiphany back in November
Mhm.
of last year. By December, my website was completely updated. Like I was
Good.
all in on
Mhm.
branding. And I've had my jenvasquez.com website for almost 25 years. So that's the
Mm,
one I'm going to combine the other one
yeah,
to. Now,
nice.
because I'm on Pinterest and because there's all these juicy links that I do not want to get errors, I am
Mhm.
going to be paying somebody to help me. So if you're really good at this, you can send me a message. Um, I need to make sure that all of the links are not going to break, and that we can migrate the blogs and other,
Yeah.
all those things. And they're two different sort of designs. One is with Divi and one is with something
Mhm.
Elementor, I think. And
Mhm.
so even when I have to go to write a blog for one, I've got to like remember, okay, which company am I working on to write that blog? Because I got to
Yeah.
know, what to do. I know all of that's going to go away, but it's such big work to make sure that
Mhm.
those links don't break and that
Well, and
everything's
here's
working
something
properly.
I'm going to share with you that we did because we recently moved from our old site to our new site and tried to
Oh,
simplify, but we have a 404 tracker. So if
okay.
anybody ever gets a 404 message,
Yeah.
it'll notify us to let us know that somebody's trying to go to that old site. And it's just a relief. And we look at that, occasionally just to make sure that not a whole lot of 404s are happening because you're never going to catch all of it. I promise you.
No,
As
and
much as
some of
I
them
learn,
it's,
I've
yeah, I
been a
know.
site
I
for
know.
25
I
years.
In order to build up to that, because it's going to be a
Mhm,
big cost probably,
mhm,
but in order to build up to that, I want to clean my
mm,
jenvasquez.com,
yep,
clean out all the old blogs anyway, that
yep.
I literally don't care if pins are pointing to them. I'll just go in and delete the pins. Like it's not that
It's gonna
much of
just
a
be time.
hardship. I'm gonna probably leave my wedding stuff because that's like the highest ranking stuff that I have, and it's good
Right.
information that people will get. And I'm referring people to several photographers in the area, so that's driving business to them as well. But
Mhm,
um, it will be exciting because under one roof, I have marketing coaching. I've got Pinterest management. I've got my Pinterest communities or memberships, right, for the group coaching. And then we have short form video editing. It's just where we take clips from people, like cell phone clips, and turn them
uh-huh,
into reels, so people don't have to do the work.
right.
And then we'll have branding and video, which I just added by going through some coaching the last couple months to be able to add video now to my stuff. So when a client
Nice.
comes to us, we have all of this to offer in support of them, which is really exciting, but it is a little terrifying, not just the technical side, but it's it's easy for me to market my photography because I've done it for so long.
Right.
Like I don't know if I'm going to combine my Instagram accounts as an example, and I need to
Mm,
have my website design so that when someone comes there they know kind of what they're looking like. It's a big decision, It's a big decision. I know I want it for peace of mind and simplification. I found that being in business for this long now, simplifying things, which comes easy to me. That's what I typically coach on, marketing workflows for someone and their situation and time that they have to give, right? Figuring out something that can be consistent without throwing them into overwhelm.
Right.
And I want to do that for myself.
You need a marketing audit for your marketing services and all the things.
I really, really do. And I'm deleting services that we have done in the past that I don't enjoy or that
Right.
not furthering the business. Like it's a whole thing. It's
Yeah,
a whole
or
thing.
just
That's
things
why
that
I'm
are
saying end
like
of this
not
year,
gonna
beginning of
be
next
a
year.
profit center, right? If they're not gonna be a
Yeah.
profit center for you, then it doesn't
Well,
make
no,
sense. Yeah.
some of them were very profitable, but I don't enjoy the work. And
See,
yeah,
same
I
thing
could
with
hire
coaching.
for it, but it's not furthering my uniqueness in my
Yeah.
type of marketing agency.
So you get to pick two: fun, fame, or fortune. Is it going to be fun for you? Is it going to,
Fun
fame? Are
for
you going to get,
sure.
notoriety from
Yeah.
it and, more work from it because of it? Or
Yeah.
fortune? Are you going to make any money? But you only get to pick two. You can't have all three sometimes.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Like I had a coach once about a year ago who said that I should just do Pinterest management and not
Hmm.
do all the education because at the time the education piece of it was not a big moneymaker, but I
Hmm.
love it. There is
Hmm.
something to be said for loving what you do and how you come across to the people when you love what you do and you
Yeah.
help them, that they in turn go and talk to other people. I've gotten more referrals from my management
Hmm.
because of my education and I love it. So there's
Yeah.
the fun and the profitability, right?
That's
So
right.
the
Yep.
notoriety isn't as important to me, but
Hmm.
I'll do
Hmm.
what I need to do also to help my business grow.
You and I are a lot of alike in that way because I love to share what I know and speak and do those things. But it's not, you're right. It's not a moneymaker right away. It's the long game.
It's
And
that brand awareness and
mhm,
visibility and credibility that you need. But
mhm,
like I have someone on my team help me with figuring out who to pitch to for podcasts or speaking events or whatever, because
yeah.
that part bogs me down and makes me feel less than. I don't want
Mm,
to do that. But I know
mhm.
I want to do that work,
The
right?
result, yeah. You want to
Mhm.
be on the stage or talk to people, and
Yes.
yeah, I 100% can relate to that a lot. No, that's good. And I'm sure a lot of people in our audience can relate to that too because they, have offer or have expertise to offer to people and can be thought leaders in their area of expertise, and sharing and showcasing that is a great way to build your brand and build the awareness about you for your personal brand, for your company brand, either way. But it is enjoyable when other people can learn from you and leverage what you know into what they're doing, for sure.
I have my current coach and she asked me, so like you have what you're good at, what fires you up, and
Hmm.
what you enjoy, right? They're
Right.
three sort of different things. And what fires me up more than anything else and enriches my business because it makes me want to produce more content when I do
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
is seeing that light bulb go off in people who are learning Pinterest or takes your advice and actually takes action and finds
Hmm.
growth. Oh my gosh, there's literally nothing better than that.
Like
Nothing.
they're a moment, like the light
Yes.
bulb going off. I love
Yes. That
it.
fires me up.
Yes.
And it does lend to credibility and visibility because when you love something or you see a great result from something that was free, they're going to
Right.
recommend you to people for your paid, right?
Yeah, totally. Okay, so what are some things that you tap into to stay in the know of everything that's going on in your world? Like, do you listen to other podcasts? Do you subscribe to things? Give us some tools or resources that you tap into that you think others should know about too.
Yes. So I will say that last year in was it last year or the year before? Pinterest selected me. I think it's one of maybe 25 people in the Pinterest business community to be an expert in that community. And
Nice.
that confirmation of what I do and what I know really set something off in me.
Yeah.
It was like,
Cool.
yay, I can do it kind of thing, which
All
is
this work
silly
is paying off.
because I've been doing it successfully for years, but that
Yeah.
doesn't matter. And at around the same time, within a month or so, I started working with Tailwind, which is of course a platform that a third-party platform that pins to Pinterest, which
Okay,
I
yeah.
love of all the ones that are out there. And so I help educate for them as well, which I love. So I would say one of the things is the people or the businesses like in the know at the top of whatever you do, connecting with them in some way, whether it's following them or listening to them or watching their videos, but have a conversation in the comments. Send a DM. Hey, I just really appreciate what you do. And I thank you so much. Reach out, because I find that in business, being an entrepreneur, everyone says this, it's so lonely, and it is, and I get it. However, people don't typically do anything about it. And my advice is tap into the community where your ideal client is. Like I do free presentations on Pinterest in Facebook groups or in people's community for free, because I'm getting in front of that ideal client. Like it is a win-win for all of us, right? And also for that connection, for that sounding board, I'm in a mastermind with, Kate All, who is like the top, in my opinion, of Pinterest. And it's all Pinterest managers, all in this group. That A, fires me up, B, gives me education, and C, gives me community where I can reach out if I'm having a frustrating day or I have a problem on a Pinterest account, because these are all experts that we're in. So finding that community of people that you either look up to or you're similar with, or that you can offer value to that also holds your ideal client, I would say is number one.
That's great. Okay, let's go into how people could reach out to you and get a hold of you and have your help, or maybe how they can take one of your classes or any of those things that we talked about, Jen.
Yeah, so I'm everywhere. I'm on TikTok. I am woefully lost in the comments and in all that stuff, so do not connect with me there, but you can follow me there. I'm just being honest. Instagram is the place that most people connect with me. Going to my website or sending me an email at jen@jenvazquez.com. And my last name has 2 Z's, that when you're typing, everyone types an S. But even if they know it's a Z, it just is what happens. I would say those are the 2 best ways to get a hold of me. I am very active on YouTube. I'm very active on Pinterest, and I'm trying to be less active on Instagram, but I'm still there.
Yes. Well, I guess I could just go to Pinterest and find you there too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Well, Jen, any kind of final thoughts or words of wisdom that you didn't get to cover yet that I should have asked you about that I just don't know what I don't know?
Yes.
Anything you'd like to say?
Every single business owner should be on Pinterest. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm not joking.
I love it.
I have yet, and it's been, since 2009, I have yet to find a business that would not work on Pinterest. Brick and mortar works on Pinterest. Service-based businesses, of course, work on Pinterest. Business to business type of sales goes on Pinterest, as well as business to consumer. If you are looking for age demographics, that is on Pinterest, and your analytics can come back and tell you what age group is most interested in your content. So even if you think it's a certain age demographic, you can see by Pinterest what actual age demographic it is. So my advice is it's never going to hurt you to take your personal business account, turn it into a business account, secret all your boards, because ain't nobody needs 2 profiles on Pinterest to try to manage. That's ridiculous. So turn your personal into a business account, claim your business account so you can get the analytics, and then secret all of your personal boards that have nothing to do with your business. You can still pin to them. So if you're on Pinterest personally, you can still pin. It's not going to hurt you. And play with it. I'm telling you, you will. I also, by the way, I don't know when this is coming out, but on May 1st, I'm starting my Pinterest challenge, and it's free, and it's spring refresh. So that's where I would lead people to, because I think it's a great way. It's over 6 weeks. It's like an hour once a week for 6 weeks. And by the end, you'll have an optimized Pinterest account.
Very cool. Is that something that you do on a regular basis?
I do. I used to do it every quarter, and now I think I'm going to twice a year, because while I enjoy it, it is a lot of work.
Nice. I understand. That's very cool. Well, thank you so much, Jen, for sharing all of these wonderful Pinterest nuggets that we got to.
Oh, I'm so
today.
sorry. I also have a gift for all of the people listening. Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, that's great.
It's all of my Pinterest research. So instead of having several lead magnets, like a lot of us have, I put all my lead magnets onto one page. So it's one sign in, and you take what you need and you can leave the rest. And it's Pinterest marketing, as well as some marketing education, tools, free downloads, you name it. And that's at thepinterestqueen.com/resources.
Love it. Thank you so much, Jen. That's awesome. We'll also put that in the show notes too, for those of you listening that need that. I know I'm going to go check it out for sure.
Yay!
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jen. And for those of you listening, the best thing that you can do for both of us is share this with those that you know that need to hear what Jen had to say today, right, Jen?
Yes, yes, and yes.
And what's another important thing that they should do for us today?
Go turn your personal Pinterest account into a business Pinterest account. Get on there and start playing with it. You're gonna love it. Low maintenance, low stress marketing.
Love it. Love it. And then drop us a review. Tell us what you think about the show. And that's always good for podcasters too.
Yes.
And until next time, everybody, enjoy the marketing journey.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing Expedition podcast. Want to continue the journey? Don't miss out on new episodes. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. Wouldn't it be great if there was one place you can go to get all the latest information and tips about marketing and advertising? The Marketing Expedition community is that place. People like you gather in our online community to build relationships with others and find the latest marketing trends, tactics, tools, and technology. We help you build your brand and your bottom line. Start your adventure today. Visit themarketingexpedition.com to find out more.